components don't have to be individual buttons or icons. In a design system, we also have a need for design patterns, placeholders, and other examples. For instance, suppose you need to create a larger component like a card. With this file open, you can see that there's a card in here along with another little icon. In the card, there will most likely be graphics, text, and more. And some of these smaller parts, like this icon, will actually be components themselves that'll be nested within the larger card component. This nesting of elements is what we see in the atomic design system we discussed early on in this course. To get this artwork into your document, select and copy all of this content. In your design system, go ahead and paste it, and then drag it onto the icons artboard here. You might need to zoom in or out. To start, let's make this small icon a component. That way we can reuse it. So select it and press Command and K on Mac OS or Control and K on Windows. And you can see it's now a component. Now to make this entire card a component, drag to select it all, and once again press Command and K on Mac OS or Control and K on Windows. A new component is created with the smaller component nested within. Now there are many cases where you've designed a larger component like this that has nested components within it, and they require customization based on the context. Now you can easily replace a nested component by swapping a new component with it. Suppose we need to replace this instance here with this icon we copied in. First, we need to make this a component. So select this content and make it a component by pressing Command and K on Mac OS or Control and K on Windows. To replace this nested component, double-click on it to select it. Then zoom in a little bit so you can position it when you replace it. In the Assets panel, drag that new component on top of the smaller nested component here. When a highlight appears, release to replace it. And if you want to position the new component, you can drag it or press your arrow keys to move it around. Know that if you were to select an instance of this card and you were to swap a component out, the change becomes a local override only affecting that instance. When it comes to expanding the use cases for components, the sky is the limit. Make sure to pay attention to whether or not you are editing a master versus an instance, since inheritance plays a big part in components.